Good day to everyone. Today we're making pizza. We will be preparing a very interesting pizza dough. Well, first of all, we will be using 1 kilogram of flour, which makes 4 pizzas. Then also, for all of this, I will only need 2 grams of fresh yeast. Such an interesting recipe. The dough ferments. You can leave it on the kitchen table to rise or in the refrigerator. I will be doing it in the refrigerator today. Very interesting. Can you imagine? So little yeast. And such a fermented, delicious dough comes out. Let's get started. So, water, vegetable oil, sugar, salt, yeast, 2 grams of fresh, and flour. So, add 3 ice cubes to the water. The water I have is just drinking water, regular, cold, yes, not from the refrigerator, but at room temperature. So, the ice, now the yeast needs to be dissolved in the water. Take the yeast, and I am using fresh yeast specifically. The recipe called for fresh. I haven't made it with dry yeast according to this recipe. Look, you mash them like this. And now mix completely so that they dissolve. You can knead by hand with a spoon in a large container, but I will do it in a dough mixer. Add all the flour into a large bowl where we will knead all the dough. Now look, this ice should dissolve in the water. First of all, the yeast will completely dissolve. You see, the water has become cloudy like this because the yeast is dissolving. Now I use the mixer at the lowest speed just to mix it. Now we start adding water. Pour cold water little by little. Watch. And the dough starts to knead. As soon as we see the moist flour, now I'll show you what that means. The flour starts to clump together with the water. And, well, it starts to look like dry dough. Now we add salt here. Just sprinkle it like this, sprinkle it like this. It mixes it for us. And a tablespoon of sugar. Now we add more water. The mixer is currently working at the lowest speed, minimally. When everything is mixed like this, you see, and you have no more dry flour left, we remove this whisk and replace it with a hook. Now we also turn it on at the lowest speed and add vegetable oil. If you're doing it by hand, just mix everything together. When you see this kind of viscosity, start increasing the power. The dough started to come away from the bowl. I want you to pay attention. See? It's coming off directly, but it still needs to be kneaded. So we do this either by hand or with a dough mixer. I leave it like this. I turn on the mixer, and for about 10 minutes, it just mixes until I see a smooth texture. You can do this by hand. Well, if you have such a wonderful machine, why not use it? So the dough is ready, it's uniform and doesn't stick to your hands. Now I take a container in which I will let it rise, and it must have a lid. Now you have a little vegetable oil on the bottom, maybe a tablespoon. Grease the bottom and your hands. Now, lift all the dough with your hand. So, look, this is how beautiful it turns out. Transfer it and cover with the lid. But in an extreme case, you need to wrap it well with 2 or 3 layers of plastic wrap. Therefore, a lid is better. There are 2 ways to proceed. The first and fastest is to leave it on the kitchen table for 12 hours and then prepare it after 12 hours. Let's see how it rises. The second option is cold fermentation. What is better? Put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. That's what I'll do. And let's see what happens after 24 hours, and we'll make pizza. So after 24 hours, look at what we have. The dough has risen unbelievably high. Have you ever seen anything like this? So now we shape the pizzas. So look, we spray the table with vegetable oil, not with flour, with oil, and transfer all the dough here. I do it like this, watch, and it falls. Like this. This is how we lower all the dough. Removing the dough from the sides of the bowl. Look at how porous it turns out. C. 2 grams of yeast per kilogram of flour created this beauty. This kind of dough, as it turns out, doesn't smell like yeast at all. No yeast taste. So now we divide it. No need to knead it. I do it like this. I divide it in half. So it turns out to be either 4 pizzas or 5, depending on the diameter you will make. Look, like this. We wrap the dough into bowls. Like this. Look. Like this. This will be 1 pizza. So 1 pizza with a diameter of 30 centimeters. That's it. It can just lie like this and rest. If today is pizza day for you, like it is for me, then we're making 4 pizzas today. You can make them with different toppings. You can make it with your favorite one. I will now show the simplest one. I am putting 3 of the dough balls back here. I won't put it in the fridge. I'll just leave it like this, cover it with a lid, and it will stand while I prepare another pizza. I will use this pizza pan with a diameter of 30 centimeters. For now, we set it aside and prepare the pan itself. So in the middle, right here, you need to make a depression like this. See? And start gently stretching the pizza, leaving this edge. You can just roll it. But this time I decided to try it this way. When you stretch the pizza gently like this, the edge remains porous. And then when you cut it, it has this, well, holy texture. Also, of course, we don't have an oven to make pizza in a wood-fired oven. I don't have a special stone. Some pizza enthusiasts bake on a stone, but we will bake in the oven. Gently knead it like this. Now my palm already fits here, so gently stretch the pizza to cover your entire baking sheet. Mine is 30 centimeters in diameter, but you can use one that's 28 centimeters. It turns out to be a nice pizza. Sprinkle the form with flour like this. Of course, you can use oil, but to prevent it from burning slightly, it's better with flour. So let's transfer it. I have several pizza sauces, one of my favorites I made in one of the pizza recipes. And today I'll tell you about it. Today I'm doing it quickly. I'm preparing the dough for you, and you can choose any topping you like. There shouldn't be too much sauce either. Do you know what there should be a lot of? It's cheese. You can never have too much cheese. You can make it with sausage, you can make it with fish, you can make it with some vegetables. But today I have a cheese pizza. So into the preheated oven for about 10 minutes. When the pizza is ready, garnish it with any greens you like. You can even sprinkle some pickled onions on top. The pizza is ready. All right, let's cut it. Look at the crust. It's crispy, and inside it's very porous. Do you hear it? There it is, crunching. Do you see how beautiful the pizza turns out? Golden, with a very beautiful crust, porous inside. Where the dough is thicker, you can see lots and lots of little holes. Aromatic, delicious cheese pizza. Listen, the dough is very thin. Very tasty. And you know there's no yeast aftertaste. That's really cool. 2 grams per kilogram of flour makes the dough turn out great. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can ferment it not in the refrigerator, but on the kitchen counter. But then it takes 12 hours. So you make it in the evening around 8 or 9, leave it on the kitchen counter, and in the morning, your pizza is ready. Also, I won't be making all 4 pizzas at once. Right now, I'll make 2. And then later in the evening, another 2. Very tasty. Now, regarding the sauces, there is a video on my channel, and I'll definitely leave a link under the video. In it, I prepare a sauce for pizza. It's simply the perfect sauce for pizza. It can be used not only for pizza, but also in pasta and as a gravy for various dishes. Be sure to watch and make it. This sauce should definitely be in your stash, just sitting there under a lid in the fridge. So you can use it throughout the week on pasta, potatoes, and pizza. This sauce is even delicious spread on sandwiches. Believe me, it's just an incomparable, stunning sauce. So give it a try. There are also several other pizza variations on different doughs on my channel. Try those too. That's all. Like and share this video. Enjoy your delicious pizza, everyone. Kisses, love you. Care, bye.